Hello, everyone. We have a very new but very familiar face joining our KMR weather team, and we're so excited for you to meet him. Allan Gwyn is going to be our weekend meteorologist, and he's actually going to make his KMR debut on Saturday. So today we're going to get to know Allan a little bit better, not only as a meteorologist, but as a person. So thank you. Whenever I found out that it was you joining our weather team, Maria told me, and I was like, "You're joking, right?" Like this is Allan Gwyn. So.
Like if I could describe a jaw dropping, I would put Rochelle and Kaylee up
Yeah,
there.
I mean, seriously,
Both
we were
of
just
them.
like, no way.
Yeah.
We were so stoked because I grew up watching you.
Yeah.
And so it's so cool that, you grew up watching somebody on TV for so long and now you get to work with them. So,
Well, it's awesome to be joining the team, and you guys make me feel so old saying that.
no.
But I've been, on TV in Amarillo for about 20 years.
Yeah.
So, and then took a little break for a while, but I'm loving coming back.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit of the timeline, because I didn't know that you had worked, here at KMR previously as a photog.
Yeah.
That's right. Joined KAMR back in '94. And as a news photographer, and worked there as a news photographer through about October of '98.
Oh, wow.
So really kind of a good intro into the business there. And
Yeah.
had a lot of fun. There's a few people here at the station that I worked with back then at the same time. So that's really neat. Almost feels like coming home.
Absolutely. And, start going into becoming a meteorologist, kind of talk about that. Was there a moment where you went, this is the path for me?
Yeah, actually, as a little kid.
Okay.
I always was fascinated with weather. And there was another weatherman on another station. His name's Len Slesick. He was actually on ABC. And I grew up I want to be him.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I want to be him.
Yeah.
And, initially as a little kid, you're just terrified of storms.
Right.
The lightning's bright, the thunder is loud. And I finally realized that it was nothing to be scared of. And then I really started to kind of clue into that. And, that's what I wanted to do. And every time a tornado warning came out, I'd run outside and look, just like you're not supposed to.
Right. I love that. But and you've seen a lot of weather over the past years, So is there any storm or weather event that really sticks out to you in your mind?
Yeah, I actually have a few of those. I have the first storm. It's one of my earliest memories as a kid, was the big hailstorm of 1968. It was a baseball hailstorm that for years was the most costliest in Amarillo.
Oh, wow.
And, I was a little kid, and I just remember looking up and seeing this big black cloud with this green sky behind it. And going, that's kind of pretty, But then the hail hit, and we had to go take cover, in the basement at the church and such. Then another standout moment was in '94 on May 28th. There was a chance for a thunderstorm just anywhere in the area. And it looked like the cap was going to hold. And then this big storm went up north of Pampa.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, yay, hold on. Let me get there before you drop the tornado. Let me get there. And got there about an hour before the tornado dropped. And that turned out to be the tornado that was on the cover of the movie Twister.
Wow.
A friend of mine, another storm chaser named Warren Fadley, actually took that photo that's on the cover of the movie Twister, but it was, I think there's only 4 of us that got video of that tornado. Me and him, another local storm chaser, and then some OU students got that. But that was really pretty neat. That was my first introduction with getting hit on the head by a hailstone.
Oh, no.
And it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, memorable for many reasons. So.
Yeah, knocked the tar out of me.
So going with that, so you started storm chasing what year?
1980, as soon as I got my driver's license.
And you were telling me about another specific storm that you were watching out in Canyon, between Canyon and Amarillo.
That's right. I actually grew up about a mile north of McCormick Road off of Western, and heard the tornado warning go out. And so, as usual, I got to run out, see if I can see a tornado. And I looked off towards the west, and I could see the cloud. And in between these two trees, I just saw this, what I call a soda straw funnel, just a real narrow top funnel just appear between these two trees and then disappear. And of course, I about fell over.
Yeah.
With that, I was like, finally, I saw a tornado, and so I hopped in my car, drove down to the end of the road, which is about a mile away, and just sat there for about 4 or 5 hours and saw 14 different brief tornadoes come off of that storm.
It's still like, when you said that earlier, I was like, wow, just to be, young and just sitting there. And I asked him, I was like, did you get the chance to take any pictures? And of course, you're like, no, I took it all in. I was like,
I'm going to full experience.
Yeah.
And that was 1980. We didn't have cell phones at that time. You just had a film camera.
Yeah.
And I was so excited that I didn't even grab my little Polaroid. So I just went out there and just watched it. Yeah. And to this day, I have not seen a storm like that particular storm.
Wow. That's a good first one.
Yeah.
The structure on it, the number of tornadoes. Yeah, I mean, they would last 30, 45 seconds. Mm-hmm. So they were very brief, but they were visible. They would just appear, they wouldn't drop from the storm. They would just appear already in contact with the ground.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you don't see that very often either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talk about, what were you thinking? How were you feeling emotionally just seeing that for the first time,
I was stoked. I still remember that I was so excited and relieved that I finally got to see a tornado, let alone just see one right after another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The lightning with that storm was incredible, the structure, and that's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime storm. Like I said, I've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of storms and hundreds of tornadoes, and I have yet to match that storm.
Wow.
Do you storm chase just here in the area, or do you like to expand and go to different states? Like if there's,
If I have the time, I'll go to different states. Usually 99% of the time it's Texas Panhandle, Eastern New Mexico, Oklahoma Panhandle, Southwest Kansas, Southeast Colorado, basically, our surrounding area.
Yeah.
But I get over to Oklahoma City quite often.
Oh, wow.
And I have been up one time to the Dakotas.
Really?
Yeah, we went, my wife and I went storm chasing up to South Dakota.
That's cool. What did you see there?
Some antelope, some buffalo, some bison, some bighorn sheep. The first day was a derecho formed, which is a squall line thunderstorm complex that has very high winds with it. I think it had 100-mile-an-hour winds with it. And then the second day, we actually got in on a supercell that did drop a tornado, but we missed the tornado because it wrapped up in the rain. And
oh, man.
It was quite the chase. Saw pheasant everywhere up there.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in a little town called Redfield, South Dakota, and they claim to be the pheasant capital of the United States. We've got a few towns in our area that can easily compete with
right.
It was really neat. It was a neat trip.
I think it's pretty cool that you take your wife with you. Talk about that. Because, you don't really hear that really ever.
No, there's not a lot of chasers out there that take their spouse with them. Lori started going with me a lot of times because she just didn't want me to go by myself.
Right.
And I'm like, I can handle it.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm
He-Man,
tough.
But she has seen some really incredible tornadoes, and she is really getting a taste for it. Likes to do it. Sometimes, riding in the car for 8 hours, gets a little tiresome.
Right.
But she has really learned a lot, and she has become very helpful to me for navigation. Sometimes she'll throw out questions that kind of snap me back to reality and, make me a little more cautious when I'm ready to just get in there.
Yeah, sometimes you need that.
Yeah.
Just because you kind of get in the moment there.
That's true, and there's been a couple of times that we've actually been hit by small tornadoes.
Oh, wow.
And not intentionally.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's because of other chaser traffic. Everyone can get out there and chase. We were talking about this earlier. Everyone has a right to chase. But you got to be safe about it. But sometimes you have people that are new that just honestly don't realize the danger that they're in, or what part of the cloud that is coming right at them and how dangerous that is. And over in Oklahoma a couple of years ago, that happened. We got slowed down by a bunch of people that were just looking at this cloud thinking it was neat looking, when actually it was the rain-wrapped wall cloud with multiple small tornadoes wrapped up in it, and they caused us, all of us, probably about 10 of us, to get swallowed up.
Oh, wow.
And I just pulled into the bar ditch and faced into the wind, and we got hit by 2 small, what we call suction vortices, and it was a little hairy, but
at least you can mark that off. That's something you have, been in. Yeah.
The El Reno tornado that me and my buddy James were in, that's the tornado that killed Tim Samaras and his son and his chase crew and another chaser. That was the storm that probably tops all storms for intensity.
Yeah.
And just breaking all the rules. So, that storm wasn't supposed to do what it did, and it did it anyway.
Yeah.
And talk about how important it is, being a storm chaser, to have to go on the fly and just make sure you're watching your surroundings.
It's kind of intense because you're looking everywhere at once. You have to, even when you're sitting still, and you might be southeast of the tornado and the wall cloud in the safest spot imaginable. You still have to watch in all directions and pay attention to what's going on, because the environment around a supercell thunderstorm can change so dramatically fast. You got to be prepared. Always have that exit strategy, that escape route.
Yeah.
That is really crucial.
Absolutely. Now, I want to go beyond the maps and the forecast, and because viewers, they always want to get to know the person on the screen. So when you're not tracking the weather, what do you enjoy doing in your free time?
I do a little bit of woodworking. I
Really?
like to make epoxy and fine wood charcuterie boards on occasion. Play with all our weenie dogs.
Yeah.
We have a lot of long-haired weenie dogs. And a parrot. I have a parrot that I've had for 35 years.
Oh, wow.
Her name is Rocky. She's a mess. And she'll let you know it.
Yeah.
So,
I liked how earlier when we were talking, you were telling me that you were trying to take a nap, and you had the parrot.
yeah. She's like, you're not sleeping right now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So
It's
she'll
my
sit there.
time type of thing.
Yeah, I want some attention. I'm a hunter.
Okay.
I like to hunt when the season's on, deer hunting, bird hunting, like that. I fish on occasion, don't catch much. I haven't got to fish in quite a while, but I've always had tons of hobbies. Die-hard snow skier.
Really?
But
That's a cool one.
Yeah, I grew up doing it. This living here, growing
Yeah.
up here, that close to the mountains.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to do that in a few years, but that's always been a love. And the gear nowadays is so much warmer than it was when I was 7 years old.
And you were also talking about you watching tennis, the opening for the matches. So you also enjoy different sports,
Yeah.
not just snowboarding and stuff.
Yeah, grew up playing tennis, high school tennis. Don't really do that much anymore after some wrist surgery. Once I kind of got out of high school, the tennis just kind of faded off.
Yeah.
But I like golf. It's a beautiful walk spoiled by a little white ball.
Yes. I played golf in high school, so I'm very frustrated,
Yeah,
but very
rewarding.
enjoyable too.
Yeah. You can have the worst day ever, and on that last hole, you can hit the best shot of the day, and you're ready to come back the next day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So pretty fun out there. But yes, I'm always active. I try to just do as much as I can.
Well, see, with us in the morning show, it's always this talk about which NFL teams. So I think that's
Yes.
the one sport that we can all kind of connect with. So who's your go-to?
Well, grew up being a diehard Cowboys fan.
Okay.
Oh,
You
no.
know, I think, I think like a lot of Cowboy fans, a little frustrated that things just can't come around at the moment. But also, my wife and I, she actually graduated from Texas Tech, so she's a diehard Raider alumni, and we watched Mahomes come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched a bunch of his home college games there in person, and so we really like to watch the Kansas City Chiefs now because we just love to watch Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right. Maria's team.
Yeah. Woohoo! We brought it back. We brought it back.
Yeah, there we go. We're slowly going to get all of our weather teams to just root for the Chiefs.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even know who John roots for.
I don't know. I've never asked him.
I don't know either.
Maybe the Cowboys. I want to say it's the Cowboys.
Oh, maybe.
We have
Probably
to
he's
switch
a
him up.
Texas man, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've mentioned before, you've been in the broadcast business previously. What were you kind of excited for coming back into it?
The love of forecasting, getting out there telling people about it, kind of teaching it a little bit. This is one of the hardest places in the country to forecast. And when you get even reasonably good at it, that's an accomplishment in this neck of the woods.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. Weather was always my passion. I got into it with my storm chasing, and it just gradually kind of ramped up from there. And before I knew it, I'd been on air for 19, 20 years. And
yeah, I mean, you're doing what you love. Time flies by.
Yeah, if you do what you love, you never spend a day at work. So that's kind of the way I try to look at it.
Absolutely. And kind of give us the rundown on your educational background.
Well, I went to school.
Yeah.
Elementary school, then Canyon Junior High and high school. Went for a few years to WT. Couldn't figure out what I wanted there. Then did a 2-year computer electronics program at was TSTI. It's Amarillo College East Campus now, I think. But
yes.
It's Texas State Technical College then. Then to get credibility in storm chasing, because there was at the time there were a lot of PhDs out there that were saying, if you don't have a PhD, you shouldn't be out doing this.
Yeah.
So I did the Mississippi State Broadcast Meteorology program, just a 3-year program, to get credibility as a storm chaser. And then at my previous station, when their number 3 guy left, they knew I had that in my background.
Yeah.
And they asked me if I wanted to give it a shot. And with very shaky knees, I said, yeah. And with a little bit of coaxing from a couple of old friends, they said, if you don't go for it, you'll hate yourself. And well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
I left my comfort zone.
Right. Sometimes you have to.
Yeah. And I mean, I was terrified and awful when I started. God, I know how bad I was.
Oh, no.
But with some good coaching,
Yeah.
and good friends, it slowly came together, and here I am.
Absolutely. And I'm curious, do you have a favorite season or type of weather?
Severe weather season's my favorite because of my storm chasing, and supercells are my favorite because, I mean, it's truly a wonder of God when you look at a supercell thunderstorm, a storm that can be 10 miles tall, maybe 10 to 20 miles in diameter, releasing the equivalent of an atomic bomb about every 10 minutes.
Wow.
It's a span about every 10 minutes, and that storm is releasing that much energy. And to be able to just see the organization and how that forms from an absolutely clear sky to this day just absolutely amazes me.
Absolutely.
So, see, with us, we've also talked about our least favorite season. And, I mean, with here in the Panhandle, you get the snowstorms, maybe not like you used to back in the day. But I would say, like, that's probably up there for me for one of my least favorite ones. I'm not a fan of the cold. Are you a fan of the cold?
Oh, I'm a snow skier.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, I like to see the big snowstorms. I know they're detrimental to the economy, to the roads, all that. But from a person that had a grandfather that owned a farm in Deaf Smith County, a heavy snow is absolutely the best way to get water into the ground because it melts in slowly. And so I kind of understand that a little bit. And, I love all the seasons. I don't like fire season when we have the dry fuels in place, the low humidity, and the land hurricanes that happen. That I really can do without, the dust storms. But, if you just wait a day,
it'll change.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, I mean, for us, I really do think winter, just in the aspect of forecasting it to me, it has always been like the hardest for me because everything is just reversed. Like, it's hard to explain it to people, but it's like it really is just reversed. But that's why for me it would be probably the hardest one. But
I agree. Forecasting snow is hard.
Yeah.
It is really hard because it's like the formation of a tornado. There's so many necessary ingredients that have to all to come together for that snow band to form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can be frustrating.
Yeah.
Especially when you miss one after another after another.
And people don't understand the importance of just 1 degree. A degree can make a huge difference from an ice storm to just rain, to, whatever.
Yeah.
But it just takes that 1 degree to change everything.
Well, that's right. It could be snowing. It could be a blizzard.
Yeah.
1,000 feet above the ground, and if you're just 1 or 2 degrees above freezing at ground level, it's coming down as wind-blown rain.
Yeah.
So you're right on that. You're sitting there going, we're going to get smashed 8 to 10 inches, and you get 2 inches of snow and about 5 inches of sleet. And, it can be frustrating.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I know it's funny because every time Groundhog Day comes up, we always talk about it with our meteorologists and forecasters, and we're like, how do you feel about it? So how do you feel about it?
Well, groundhogs are not weather people.
That's. I think Maria said the exact same thing.
I think we need to go find a ground squirrel or a prairie dog here in our neck of the woods and do that, because I remember one time, and this might make some people mad, but I remember one time watching Puxatawny Phil live. They pull him out to see if they could see his shadow. Well, I looked, and first of all, they said he saw his shadow. And I'm like, And I remember I went on air and said, I want you to look and ask me how he can see his shadow, because it was fully overcast.
Yeah.
Right there, all over the state of Pennsylvania. And the sun was still about 5 minutes before even coming up over the horizon. So I'm like, you lie, you little rodent.
Maria, if you don't have any more questions.
Do you want to add anything that viewers may be surprised to know about you?
Well, it might look like I'm bald, but I actually have a full head of hair. No,
You're like a promise.
I think I'm kind of sunk in that category. There's something about a lot of the weathermen that have been on air in Amarillo. We tend to lose our hair, and it's because we pull it out, I think. So,
No.
It's like, why didn't that work?
Yeah. But, I love it.
No, I think that's we've covered quite a bit.
Yeah. So I want to end this off. Of course, weather. We're going to do a lightning round.
Uh-oh.
So very simple. They're just silly little questions. So answer them as fast as possible without thinking, okay?
Okay.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
All right. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
All right. Beach day or mountain bike?
Beach day.
All right. And then I think I know the answer to this one. Storm chaser or sunny skies?
Oh, storm chaser. Yeah.
All right. Well, we are so excited to have you on board, Allan. Welcome to the team. And to our viewers, you'll be seeing Allan Gwyn very soon on your screens to give you your daily forecast. Thank y'all so much for watching.